This is my custom Warthog based on the TRX4M platform, and it's almost done. I'd say it's like 90% complete. Well, maybe like 80% complete. It really depends on how far I'm willing to go with this thing, but let me just show you guys really quick. So the Warthog body itself is from a action figure and a Warthog kit. It's the HALO Infinite series Warthog. You could still find them on eBay. I forget how much I paid for it, probably like 30 something. Comes with a masterchief and an assault rifle and the vehicle itself. Now, this took heavy modification. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, so this started off as a TRX4M Defender. Now, out of the box, the Infinite wheelbase for the HALO Infinite Warthog wheelbase is way too long for the TRX4M Defender. So I actually had to extend the wheelbase. How did I do that? I did that by getting a new chassis, new rails. So the rails you're seeing on this right now are Injora aluminum rails for the TRX4M K10 or the Ford Ranger. So those chassis are longer than the standard Bronco and Defender. So first thing I did was new chassis, right? So with this new chassis length, it's almost perfect. It could use a little more, but it's barely noticeable. Now, the stock shocks really weren't cutting it for this build because of how heavy the body is. So I went with some Injora shocks, and I filled them with some oil, so they're pretty firm. Right down here, you'll notice metal Injora drive shafts. These are for the Chevy K10 and the Ford Ranger. You need the longer drive shafts or it's just not going to work. I also added some high clearance Injora brass links to kind of keep the weight down when I'm doing some crawling. It crawls pretty decent. It really doesn't topple over that much. One thing I had to do is I had to extend, I had to extend the wheelbase a bit with these extension pieces. They're copper, so it adds some weight. The TRX4M tires are way too small for this. Sorry, the heat sink fell off. It was only held on there like a little piece of tape. I'll put that back on later. The TRX4M tires are just way too small, so I had to go with these Injora Super Swamper. I forget the size, but they're the biggest you can get for these small scale crawlers, and it works pretty well. Now, how does the body actually fit on here? It only fits on by these 4 magnets that I have glued to these side rail things. These side rail things you can get for like $9 on AliExpress. They screw into the side of the chassis. So I mounted 4 magnets with some glue. On the unit itself, we have the 4 magnets. They snap together, and there you have it. Your rig is now attached. So let me pop that off again for you. As you can see, I'm still running the regular Traxxas blue electronics. Now, this body is very heavy for this servo and these wheels, so I'm using this servo until it dies. It's gonna die eventually. Once it dies, I'll put something a little bit more powerful in. But I really wanted to use this equipment, the standard equipment that it comes with, because I thought it would be cool to, just put 2 items together without doing any other modifications. Like I could have done a different ESC and attach it to one of my other controllers, but I wanted to keep this simple and I feel like it is pretty simple. Now, something I didn't mention before that you see here is an FPV camera. I'm just messing around right now with where the FPV camera would look cool on the Sky. Right now I have it, as you can see, mounted on the gunner, and I thought looking through the gunner would be pretty cool as you're driving. Or I was thinking about maybe mounting the FPV camera up here, or maybe behind Chief's head, or maybe even actually removing Master Chief's head and putting the camera there, so I'd have the view of the steering wheel and everything, which would be pretty sweet. Only problem with that is the windshield is too dark, so you can't really see through it. Oh, gas tank fell off, whatever. So we have Master Chief here, who's perfect for 1/18 size figures. He's taller than them. In the cockpit, I don't have any Marines, but this is a 1/18 scale acid rain figure. She's great. She's holding his assault rifle, and in this back seat here, we have, well, not back seat, the gunner. We have a 1/18 scale Joy Toy, like robot mechanic guy, or mech mechanic guy. You can get blind box ones on like AliExpress for like $8 or whatever. So I think they look pretty good, along with Master Chief. Maybe I'll get some Marines eventually, but this thing is fantastic. It's coming along really well. Really, when I was saying it's like 80% done, I gotta do two things. I need to drill out these two fake lights right here and add, just two standard lights. And also, I posted this a while back on the internet, and everyone's like, "Ooh, add rear steering. You need to add rear steering for it to be a Warthog." Bro, if you want to send me a set of axles and a servo and everything, go for it. Otherwise, we broke as hell out here. But rear steering would be something to, do eventually. Or even if I care to. I don't really care that much. This thing is already pretty sweet on its own. Now, the battery, I had to get kind of clever with, because there's really no room on the chassis to put the battery. So underneath the rig, up in the engine compartment, I have Velcro double-sided. The Traxxas battery that I have has the other side of Velcro on it, so I just push it up in there and it stays in there nice and fine. Now, if you ever want to do this, or pretty much for any toy vehicle that you want to turn into an RC car, you want to trace the width of the chassis, right? So from this side to this side, the length of it and the width of it. Once you do that, you can draw out the length of the chassis and the width of it, and then take I used a Milwaukee multi-tool, and I just cut through all the plastic. Now, once you have the size of the frame set, if you add these little side step things that I showed you earlier, whatever vehicle you're cutting should just sit right on top of it. At that point, you just need to glue magnets. So I just glued magnets to this guy, let this harden first, and then I laid them on top of here with some other magnets and marked the spot, put the glue on, and yeah, that's pretty much that. So, this is it. This is the Warthog project. There, you can see there it's almost perfect. If it went out a little more, the wheelbase would be better, but it's pretty good, I think. Nice view underneath. But yeah, it's pretty sick. So some final thoughts. I need to get some, maybe someone could print me, some 3D print me some green caps for this to make it look like the Warthog wheels. But this wheel came off as I was in the snow. I only noticed when I got back. The pin is gone, but that's alright, I'll fix it. I'm gonna put pictures of the Endura parts that I used to convert my TRX4M Defender or TRX4M Bronco to this Warthog. Now, if you already have a TRX4M Chevy K10 or the F-150 Ranger, you shouldn't have to do anything really besides get some of these side plates. Yeah, your wheelbase should be good on those units, but the pictures that I'm putting in are if you already have a TRX4M. I'll also put a picture of the model of the HALO action figure and Warthog. I believe I got mine on eBay. I'll try to take a screenshot of that. Yeah. Boy!